storm sewer CCTV inspection findings.
So we did the, Robinson Pipe Cleaning did the CCTV. That pipe is crushed, doesn't go anywhere. They cambered about 77 feet down the line and they couldn't go any further.
Just for everyone's knowledge, this is the hammering at the Shire plan off of 88.
So we put together a brief summary of what Robinson found. There's a photo there that shows, you know, they couldn't get their camera any further down the pipe. You know, in recognition that there's interest in that original phase 3 parcel for development, this is probably something that we're gonna have to take a look at. The first thing we should do is confirm that the township actually took over ownership of the storm sewers that were put in phase 2. My sense is they probably did, but that was 20 some years ago that phase 2 ended and phase 3 started. If it's a storm, you know, if it's a pipe that we own, then, you know, we may need to consider replacing a portion of it or extending it so that it has a viable discharge point. But right now it's creating hazardous situations every time it rains. And then the other recommendation would be, and I don't know if this is best served coming from Dennis's office or mine, but we should notify Pennsylvania American Water Company that they should not continue to drain their tanks into this catch basin and into this pipe, because this pipe is in no condition to receive that type of flow.
Let me ask you a question. It says 77 feet on the inlet. So do we know on what parcel of property this line is?
Yeah, it's the original lot 16 from phase 2, yes.
So it's on lot 16 of phase 2.
Yeah.
And who's the owner of lot 16 of phase 2? We don't. You
I'm
don't
not sure off the top of my head.
Do we have an easement for that stormwater line anyway?
Developers agreements that I've seen suggest that we do. But
Is there anything of record done?
Definitely there is. I have a file.
I believe there is. I believe there are signed developers agreements that state the easement width.
But is the easement?
I don't know if it ever got recorded. I don't know that. I don't know if the township ever took over ownership of the phase 2.
See, because the reason I'm saying is, well, Michelle, I'm gonna look that up.
I did look it up. I gave you
I don't
a thing
remember
about
taking
those
that over.
lots that were given.
Oh,
These
that's right.
guys were here then. They don't
belong.
Larry, do you remember taking over ownership of that?
We'll have to look
I
at
was
it.
just sitting here thinking about that.
Yeah, 'cause they were
Like
gonna
TJ
finish,
said, that's been over 20 years ago, at least.
Before my time.
The developers agreement that I saw was dated approximately 2000, April 2000. if
Phase
memory
2 was approved up there.
All right.
That line's on phase
More
2
research.
lot.
in phase 3, they were supposed to continue, they never finished it.
That's right.
That was the end of it.
Essentially, when Pennsylvania American, as I understand it, when the water company drains those tanks, they drain it into that catch basin. The water has absolutely, has nowhere to go. It starts to bubble up through the ground and,
Hence
you know,
Christina May's.
spill out down that hillside behind those folks' homes. So that's a bad situation, and, you know, that's really not a viable place for the water company to connect, you know, to drain to.
All right, so we need to, you've been in contact with PAWC before?
I've had some initial discussions with them, but I think we should send them a letter and state that
Saying
they
that,
should
yeah,
not
this,
continue
it
to
may
do this.
cause property damage of which
Correct.
they'd be
Right.
responsible for it once you notify them.
So I can draft something and send it to you to take a look at.
Yeah, I think we have to do that.
Okay. All right.